am so excited because the Step Out TV shows are back live on T2I TV. And for those who don't know, Step Out is a series of interviews and motivational segments designed to bring the best out of you and your business. Therefore, we have the following TV programs. Our first TV program, which is our flagship program, dubbed Step Out with Oscar Bimpong, is designed to interview consultants, experts, talented people, and those doing exceptionally well in their communities. The second one is Step Out SME Focus. This is where we interview business owners and showcase their products and services. The third one is Step Out Youth Impact Zone. This is where we interview young people succeeding against all odds to serve as an inspiration to other young people. And the last one is Step Out Authors Corner. And this is where we interview authors to share what their book is about to the world. Join us every week at 7 p.m. GMT. Like T2I TV on Facebook and subscribe to the YouTube channel. To advertise or for further information, do WhatsApp +44 759 1152 983 or +233 55 580 3924 or email info@traintoinspire.com. T2I TV. We engage, educate, enlighten, and empower.
Welcome to another exciting edition of the Step Out Youth Impact Zone. And tonight is another wonderful night where we give young people the opportunity for them to talk about what is really challenging young people, for them to share their stories, and for them to educate themselves. Why? Because we have left the stories on the continent for other people to share on our behalf for far too long. There are so many young people on the continent of Africa and in diaspora that are doing exceptionally well, but nobody is documenting their stories. Nobody is sharing their stories to inspire other young people. And because of that, a lot of young people think there is no hope on the continent. And that is what T2I TV UK is doing, to really bring those talents out, share their story, to inspire other young people on the continent and in the diaspora. So if you are watching us for the first time, this is T2I TV UK, where you can have a lot of inspiration, education, seek knowledge, because we also bring experts and people doing exceptionally well in life and in their areas of expertise, consultants, talented people to come and really discuss pertinent topic that is really affecting us as individuals and on the continent. But before I go on to my guest, I would really like to mention some few, how do we call it, sponsors of this program. Now, for those that don't know, T2I TV UK is powered by Train to Inspire Consultancy. Train to Inspire Consultancy is your business training and development firm. That is for all your business training in terms of, for example, leadership and management, customer service, with any form of business training that you need. Contact Train to Inspire Consultancy. They work with different consultants across the globe to deliver training programs that can help your business to grow. Also, when it comes to consulting, they are the best. Also, if they also work with students in terms of their personal development. So as a tertiary institution, if you want us to work with you, we are more than welcome to work with you. Also, ALS Global Shipping and Logistics, your trusted import and export company based in Accra. ALS say if you are stranded at the port, call ALS and they will sort you out. Also, ZPay Ghana Limited, your remittance and mobile money company based in Ghana. They just launched their ZPay mobile money USSD code, which is *270#. Just dial it on your phone to register for ZPay money, mobile money. You don't need an agent to register for ZPay mobile money. what you need is your smartphone to register. Also, Wheels for Sure. Wheels for Sure is your car leasing company for every credit based in the United Kingdom. Wheels for Sure say it doesn't matter your credit history. You can walk out of the garage with the car of your choice. Therefore, Wheels for Sure is what you need during this pandemic. When people are avoiding crowded areas in terms of public transport and you don't have a good credit, go to Wheels for Sure and they will sort you out. They have got packages for everyone, especially the key workers in the UK. So if you're a key worker in the UK, contact Wheels for Sure. Now, when you contact Wheels for Sure, quote T2I 2020 to let them know that you got it from Train to Inspire Consultancy. And trust me, they will sort you out big time. Now, if you want any of the contact numbers of our sponsors, their numbers and contact details are scrolling on the screen. Take their numbers and contact them. Also, if you want to sponsor any of our shows, you want to support what we are doing, or you want to advertise, you are more than happy to do so. Take the T2I TV UK number or the Train to Inspire Consultancy consultancy number and contact us, and we will give you a good deal. We always say that a lot of small and medium enterprises cannot go to main media to advertise. If that is the case, come to us. A very affordable rate, but we will make sure we also grow with you as a consultancy firm to help your business to grow and to help strategically position itself in the marketplace. Now, straight to business. Who do I have on the hot seat today? Today, my guest is coming all the way from the Gambia. This man is doing exceptionally well as a young leader, and he is changing the status quo. And these are the young people we want to showcase. We want to showcase young people that are not complaining on the continent, that are not giving excuses, but they are working so hard to really change the status quo. And our guest for today fit that description. And who is this person that I'm talking about? He's a political science student at the University of Gambia and the leader of the UTG Solutionist. He is in the person of Mr. Kemo Fati. Please welcome to Step Out UT Park Zone, and you are live on T2I TV UK.
Thank you so much, Mr. Oscar, for the invitation. I am deeply honored to be part of this global platform today to share my lady thoughts and knowledge with young people in Africa.
So how has your day been?
Mr. Oscar, it has been a very, very hectic day, but also a very, very shocking day in the Gambia here today. As our National Assembly members today rejected a draft constitution, which has created so many brouhahas in social media from young people, because we thought that the constitution entails our aspirations and our wills as a nation since inception. So having rejected that, it's indeed a very, very disappointment from the National Assembly, because it couldn't meet the two-third majority. So as a result, it was completely rejected by the National Assembly members, and millions of dollars have been spent from the consultation and formulation process. And the majority Gambians are very, very happy with the new constitution. But just because few clauses doesn't favor the incumbent president and of course some ministers, it was rejected. So meaning that national interest was not prioritized. So that was indeed very, very disappointing today. I am quite not happy with that. I'm not happy with the decision of the National Assembly members. And I hope we have young people who can definitely understand our laws and then make change in the society.
Wow. So is there a way that they can vote again?
They voted against the new draft constitution.
Wow.
So meaning we are going back to the 1997 constitution again, which was brought by President Jambe. And then that constitution, to be honest with you, Mr. Oscar, doesn't favor majority of Gambians because it more or less support the incumbent president. It had undergone so many amendments since inception in 1997, which was more or less favoring the incumbent president. And now we are now transitioning to a new democracy. But our biggest disappointment, the National Assembly too also rejected this new draft constitution. We should go for referendum where the majority should decide.
Wow.
So that was a shocking moment today in the Gambia, and the youths are definitely campaigning against that decision on social media. I know it is very, very trending, but you will get to know.
Exactly. But tonight we are going to talk about young people, and that is what this program is all about. That is a Step Out Youth Impact Zone, giving a voice to young people on the continent. And I know you are fired up in terms of trying to bring change and changing the status quo on the continent. And our topic for today is youth leadership and resilience in the midst of crisis. Now, my first question to you is, what do you understand in relation to youth leadership?
Yes, of course, Mr. Oscar. I understand the topic, and of course, in relation to youth leadership in Africa, because I have been involved in so many extracurricular activities, amid this global pandemic. It is indeed an invisible enemy that we live with. We can only overcome it through what resilience. So I have been participating in that since April. So many extracurricular activities program. We made consultations with committee regarding the coronavirus campaign. You'll be surprised that my team in the University of the Gambia, called the Team Solutionist, was the first youth-led organization confirmed by the Ministry of Health that embarked on the COVID-19 sensitization campaign when so many Gambians were living in denial. And after that, again, we also conducted a survey with Africa Development Group earlier in June, where Gambians for the first time were interviewed based on their choice of candidate in the next presidential election. We collected about 25,000 data across the country to predict the next presidential election. The result is yet to be out. Just recently, again, my team partnered with a local organization in the Gambia here to link our partners in the University of John Moore, UK, to sponsor university students with some of the scientific materials. And we received 25 brand new microscopes from them. So all these things happen amid this COVID-19. And I know we could only overcome that through resilience. Because for me, resilience is nothing more than the transcending adversity or building capability and having that ability to move on whatever situation life throws at you. And if you build that capacity, if you build that trust in yourself as a young person, you will definitely make a significant progress in the society. And I believe this is what many Gambians have. And this is what I have been seeing in so many of young Africans. And definitely with this, we will make a change.
Do you think the young people of today are very resilient, or they are too emotional?
Of course, they are very, very resilient. Mr. Oscar, you will see the impact the young people have created since inception of this pandemic. Youth in Nigeria, in Kenya, in Ghana, and of course in the Gambia here, have been consulting the committees. So many sensitization programs have been organized, even in the Gambia here. And this youth impact zone, I have watched so many videos. I have been following your programs, and I see how young people are contributing towards national development. And I think if we can gather those abilities together to translate them to national commitment, this will definitely help our Africa as a continent, and definitely we will grow.
Wow. Because the reason why I asked that question is, I have seen a lot of young people on the continent of Africa, or let's say Ghana, for example, that they like to really complain and give excuses rather than finding solutions. Of course, we know that there are so much challenges on the continent, but do you think so many people think like the way you think, and the few people that I even get the opportunity to interview, and the few that I meet that I think they are really positive and think something good will come? Do you think there are people, the young people are ready?
Yeah, before answering that question, I would love to leave this quotation made by Franklin D. Roosevelt. He said, "The only limit to the realization of our tomorrow will be our doubts of today." And then, to be honest with you, sometimes I'm not happy with some of the lackadaisical move about from the young people in Africa. You have to believe in yourself that yes, you can inspire others, and of course, you can inspire change in your communities. That must come from your own end. Nobody will give you that motivation. The only thing that our African leaders could do is to help us to succeed, which is also very, very lacking. The African Development Bank recently reported that Africa has the largest population of young people. Since 2015, we have about 480 million young Africans, which is expected to redouble in 2025. But now, what Africa have we prepared ourselves? What Africa are our leaders today building in making sure that the generation yet unborn will not fall on the trap, will enjoy that liberty, that fundamental liberty that they need to enjoy. That is very, very lacking. It's not about youth being lackadaisical. No, they are not naive. I think they are doing their best. In here, you have more than 7 graduates from the University of the Gambia who are today benefiting from the Chieftain Scholarship. And they have been doing well on the sectors of environmental security, social change, and other issues. And because of that, they were awarded this scholarship because of the impact they have created in the community. So I think we can definitely change the narrative if we want to unite as Africa to achieve the Agenda 2063 that our so many African leaders wants to see. But we cannot build that Africa if the young people don't have that collaborative partnership. If we don't have that chance, that innovative partnership, between young people. So that is also very, very lacking. I think that's the only way that can unite us as young people to develop our Africa. Because this country belongs to us. You cannot expect European to come and develop our Africa. We have those young brains. We have the immune capacity, Oscar. All of you are doing amazingly great. And this is definitely creating so many inspiration in the minds of young people out there. Today in my country, 20% of our GDP depends on what? Agriculture. Recent research from Africa Development Bank also shown that by 2025, our agricultural sector alone will create more than 41 million jobs for young people in Africa. Our industry will create 23 million jobs for young people in Africa. Our telecommunication will create 1.2 million jobs for young people. But are we really realizing these goals? What mechanism have we put in place in making sure that we met this target? Imagine a research that was conducted since 2015. I'm not impressed because I'm not seeing that Africa still now. We are good at drawing policies. We are good at formulating ideas. But implementation has been our problem since inception. And we have to understand the age we are, and when our forefathers we are fighting for independence. Sadaura Karaba Jawara will say in a famous quotation that Gambia will never remain in the backwaters of Africa's advent when the entire continent is liberated. Sadaura Karaba Jawara, the first president of the Republic of the Gambia, he was in his early 20s when he was fighting for the independence of the Gambia. That reminds me of Kwame Nkrumah, who said that the independence of Ghana will be meaningless if the entire Africa is not liberated. What a nationalist and what a pan-Africanist. This is what they embrace. They wanted to see that Africa. Today they will be shocked if African people, the young people, are killing each other. Our Nigerian brothers and our South African brothers are killing one another. This is not the Africa they wish to see. It is very sad. This is not the Africa Nelson Mandela fought for. So it is time we realize our potential, we build our potential, and we move on with resilience. Oscar, Africa is blessed. We are blessed with natural resources. And of course, whatever thing we want to achieve in Africa, we will. Because we have those smart brains that can tap those resources. Resources are available.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think
so.
I think you are making a great point, right? And I have really observed this myself, and I believe that when it comes to talking, young people easily talk, but when it comes to doing, it becomes difficult. Now, let me give you a typical example, right? I deal with a lot of young people, especially with this program, right? One, communication of young people are very poor. The person that is coming, for example, coming to talk about leadership is not able to even lead themselves. The person that is coming to talk about communication is not able to communicate effectively. Now, let's look at somebody that is coming to talk about communication, and you send the person message, and 3 weeks, they never reply. And the moment you get back to them and you ask them, why didn't you get back to me? One of the things they say is, I'm busy. I don't know how busy you be when you become the president even of a nation, because president of nations still have time to reply and make calls. So I think that probably, unless you prove me otherwise, that I believe that this generation talk too much, but when it comes to work, it is really difficult for them to really do. What is your take on that?
Yeah, sometimes, Oscar, if you will understand very, very well, the only power that we have now as emerging leaders, as young people, is to voice out our concern. That create what inspiration. But our leaders really listen to us. Before coming to your show, I was on a show called Speak to the President directly from 11 p.m. to 12 p.m. The show was very, very interesting. And the topic was the impact of the COVID-19 on the Gambian's economy. Oscar, it is quite very shocking right now. My country's GDP declined from 6% to 2% amid this COVID-19. The national policy plan, which was quite very, very beautiful, that you will love, that was drawn since 2018, could not be achieved. The president's state of address shattered hopes and expectations for the young people of this country because nothing was achieved. So it is quite very sad. Recently, earlier in August, I wrote I wrote an article which was published by a national newspaper called Foria for a government to draw a contingency national policy plan in the post-COVID-19 for the post-COVID-19 preparation. But of course, there are beautiful ideas. What are we doing right now? I asked the government to consolidate and consult the national statistic agencies and conduct report social research so that we can know the problems that people are faced with. There are beautiful ideas in that, but none of those have been done. The National Statistics Department are complaining that government is not giving them incentive to do what? To do social research so that they can know the problems of the people. And I know the problem that I face here in the Gambia as a young people is the same problem that millions of African young people are also faced with. This is the same thing that you see in Nigeria. This is the same thing that you see in Ghana. But one thing I am very, very proud to say today is that I have been seeing so many significant change in Nigeria. To be honest with you, Oscar, Buhari is really changing narratives. I read an article just recently published by a journal in Nigeria, which says that the Nigerian government called Empower Teacher is creating what? Is encouraging young people. Right now, they are training about 500,000 young people who will venture into agro business and other small enterprises to promote what? Skill in the minds of young people. And every year, more than 75,000 young people graduate with skills that will help them in their communities. This is supported by the Nigerian government. That's quite amazing. In Kenya, articles will tell you that if Nairobi alone was a country of its own, it would have been one of the richest country in Africa, and the 14th richest country in the world. But because of uneven development that exists in the country, there is no enough development there, because most of those businesses are centered in the Nairobi alone. It is not decentralized. This is also affecting Africa. Our development are centered in the urban areas, but we are neglecting the rural areas. And this is where almost everyone is coming from. And this is why rural urban migration has been increasing in Africa. So I think all those are areas that we need to identify very, very well in making sure that we venture into urban farming, but not to neglect those in the rural areas too. They also deserve to live in a dignified life as any one of us. So I think our leaders need to listen to young people. They should create opportunities. They should create platforms for young people to voice out their concern all the time. Oscar, this is the only way forward for Africa.
That sounds really great. And what are some of the challenges that you think the youth are facing when it comes to leadership?
Yeah, employment is one. Underemployment. You have 65% of those young people, as reported by African Development Group, are underemployment. 25% of those people, again, are vulnerably employed. Unemployment that doesn't even deserve your human capacity, your intellectual understanding. But because you have no other alternative, you have no other choice, you will venture into that job because there's no opportunity for you. This is why our young people are dying in the Mediterranean Sea simply because they are frustrated in their ghettos. They keep talking about Europe because they thought Europe is the only destination that can change their life. And this is very, very sad. We are losing our brains.
Yeah.
Are these people technically understanding any skills in Europe? But they've been they've been engaging in so many different things. And this is definitely increasing, juvenile delinquency in our societies. It is creating young criminals in our society, because if young people are frustrated that no opportunity is given to them, they do whatever thing they wish, because nothing is available for them that can encourage them to venture into job market. And skills are also very, very lacking. Yet with the resources that we have, we could not make sure that we implement ideas that can help us. So I think what I will say here today has already been said by so many people, but yet we are stagnant, Oscar, as a continent. So I think there's a problem.
Yes,
There's a problem in leadership.
Yeah, but if we are talking about unemployment, then can I say that the youth has also got do they have a role to play in unemployment?
Of course, they have. They have a huge role to play. Youth can be trained on skills where they can also venture into their small business enterprises. Because in Africa, you understand that we cannot go without agriculture. If we can mechanize our agricultural system to encourage young people, to give them more incentive to embark on urban farming, areas and other skilled labors, we will definitely do well. We create, recreational centers for young people. This is the only way forward. They have a role to play. And today it is quite amazing that Africa is also encouraging young people, because if you look at our parliament today, you have young people in our parliament. You look at South Africa, Nigeria, and Ghana. I think now the trend is now changing. Young people are so much into politics now, and that will definitely help our countries.
So it means that the young people can also create jobs, right?
They can be job creators. This is Africa that I want to see.
But what is preventing? Do you think young people are doing their best when it comes to job creation, or the system is not created well for them to really succeed when it comes to job creation?
Yes, there is two things involved here, Oscar, and I think we need to be very, very quite honest with that. One is that young people also are not giving them that motivation. They are not even encouraging themselves to create such. All what we do at some point is that we want to rely on government, and you cannot expect government to do everything. And the government too is not giving us that incentive that we needed. They are not encouraging us to fit in, and this is why we are desperate. This is why we are discouraged about Africa. This is why so many young people will prefer to go to Europe than living in Africa, jobless. And this is also affecting our fertility rates. Because if you see so many brothers traveling outside there, leaving our sisters, our mothers home, it's not really encouraging. It's really not encouraging. Meaning we are losing our smart brain still now. So I think they also have a role to play in inspiring the generation.
Yes.
So
And that really sounds it sounds interesting, and I think the young people have got a role to play. The leadership have also got a role to play, isn't it?
Good.
Now, what do you think this generation needs to succeed?
Yeah, there are so many areas that we can succeed on. Oscar, I want to mention one significant area here which can help young people to succeed. That is on the side of our lawmakers. I think they are very, very important in decision-making processes. There should be inclusiveness in anything that we do in the world, and the participation of young people, the voices of young, is very, very important in national development. You understand? Because a high school child who has been struggling from primary school to senior secondary, graduate with distinction, move on to university, still hopeless, having nothing, is quite very, very disappointing. So I think there should be laws that will transform our generation, laws that will suit us, laws that will look at young people, provide opportunities for them, life after education, and not to discourage them. Oscar, these are some of the systems that we need to change in Africa, and that requires what an transformative change in our institutions. And it must start from the National Assembly. It must start from our parliaments. They need to instigate that ideas. Those ideas need to be inculcated in our system. That we have, that there should be a certain portion that should be provided for the young people. Yeah, that's the only thing. That's the only way we can transcend adversity, and that's the only way forward.
So there is hope, right?
There is really hope, and I'm hopeful that we will definitely move on. We will definitely succeed as a country, as a continent, and we will definitely succeed as young people.
Now, I asked this thing on Facebook some few days back, and I was
Yes.
like, for example, Gambia, the Seychelles, Cape Verde, they are small countries, right? So what is preventing them from the whole country succeeding? So Gambia is less than 3 million, right? So
Yes.
somebody is thinking there should be a
Supporting.
way out that poverty can even be eradicated. What is actually the hindrance to our success?
Yeah, Oscar, I will brief you about the history of Gambia a bit. We used to be called an improbable nation since 1965. In 1965, Singapore was nowhere better than Gambia. China was nowhere better than Gambia. In 1970, we had our first president, Sadaura Kairaba Jawara. Things were changing. So many things were changed. Institutions were built. People have the hope that yes, the country will move on. He served for 30 years. Understand? He built capacity building programs. Then Gambia was one of those leading countries in Africa in terms of economy. Our GDP growth was high. Some of our agricultural sector was booming. You understand? The Jahali and Pachar rice field, which was established in 1985, was also producing bumper harvest for women that are venture into that love those areas. You understand? But contrary to expectation, when we experienced a regime change, when Jambe and his counterpart organized a coup against a democratic president, hopes were shattered again. So many damages were made. Dictatorship came into Gambia. We were all born into dictatorship, so things were so much hard. Things were so much hard, and everything was very very difficult for Gambian people. But despite all that, Gambia also tried to build some institutions like the University of the Gambia, and of course supports our Gambia College, and then MDI and GTDI. Understand? But despite all that, Gambia was also very very selfish. He promised Gambians that the Vision 2016 or Vision 2020, Gambia will be like Dubai. Then we have our agricultural sector kind of better. Not very okay, but kind of better. He promised the peasant farmers that yes, we are going to give you all those necessary equipment that you need, because Gambia was more or less into agriculture, than tourism, because 20% of our national GDP comes from our agricultural sector. So he was very very smart to bring some of those mechanized farming system. But Jambe was very, very jealous when he also requested the peasant farmers that he also needed a share. That was the time division came. The peasant farmers that always work on their rice field and barely get fertilizers, and other equipment, now share the same land with President Jambe. Jambe also used to have his share. The peasant farmers also had their share. So division came. Every Friday, women will leave their own houses and go to Jambe's farm. Proper incentives were not given to farmers. Things were down. Everything was down. Our tourism sector was not that much promising. Our partnership with international corporations also wasn't promising at all. So it was indeed a very very difficult moment. And now with a new regime change again, that had transitioned us to a juvenile democracy, is also not promising, because in 2016 Gambia made a historic regime change in the world, where we voted Jambe peacefully. But still now, we are still hopeless. Nothing is achieved, and then the hopes are started to now. Still now, to be honest with you, Oscar, we are not happy still now, and then it's really not promising. It's really not promising at all. So I think we had an opportunity to develop, but of course we failed. Yes.
So do you think the youth, because there is one thing I always think about the youth, right? Do you think the youth
Yes.
the youth always vote the right people into power?
Yes. Youth participation, I think, started in 2016, because the change that occurred in 2016 was triggered by the young people in this country. People from the diaspora, university students, college students come together to educate the voters. Imagine the first time we conducted a survey on the next presidential election. It was very very difficult for us to get some respondents, because most of the Gambians still now are not politically aware. they will be like, why should I tell you who's no, I would vote for? So they still believe that they're still living in that perpetual fear, because we've been living with that since in 1994. So to voice out their concern was really a problem. So this is what young people in here are busy reconciling, to make sure that people understand their political rights, that nothing will happen to you if you voice out your concern as a citizen, as a bona fide citizen of this country. We still have a long way to go. This is why I more or less concentrate on capacity building programs to deal with societies, to sensitize the masses, on their political rights. So that really takes time.
Now, if you are in a position to lead now, what changes
Yes.
are you going to make Gambia and Africa better?
Oscar, it is very, very easy to develop Africa and to develop Gambia in particular. We have so many professors, intellectuals down there who are working with the United Nations. We can still call these people back to our continent to come and develop Africa, Oscar. Sometimes it is very, very sad when I see our former African ministers, former presidents, or former vice presidents still working with international NGOs. They never prepare nothing, after their tenure. What I expect from our former leaders is to have a foundation or organizations in Africa after their tenure in office, but not to apply or seek for job again at the international level, Oscar. This is not the Africa I want to see. The Africa I want to see is that after Buhari's presidency, I want Buhari to institute a foundation where he will create more than 500,000 job opportunities for young people. The same thing I want to see when Adam Barrow also go off. The same thing what I want to see in other countries. This is the only way forward. So coming back to your question, I think we have opportunities in Africa. We have the resources, Oscar. We cannot do nothing, without tapping those resources, because that's what we have. That's what we are blessed with. So all what we need to do now is to consult those intellectuals down there who are doing extremely well, to come back to Africa and draw a very good policy plan for African people. The African Development Group Bank, sometimes they draw a very, very, very good policy plan for Africa, but they are not achieved. They are still not achieved. Implementation still now is very, very lacking in our leadership role. Consultation also is also very, very lacking. Are we involving young people, women, vulnerable youths? We are not encouraging them. And Africa cannot go without women and youth. Today there is so many social delinquency going on right now. The United Nations report that more than 23 million young Africans will be affected in the post-COVID-19. And 65% of those would not be able to go back to school because of our economy. We are currently experiencing a deep economic recession in Africa. There is no country that is currently promising. There is no country that is promising at all. And then we are not expecting what Africa we want to see. We are not planning what Africa we want to see in the post-COVID-19, which is very, very important. And I think the time to draw that is now. Let's draw a long-term plan that will benefit the generation yet unborn. These ideas are good. We can formulate policies together and make sure that we draw a very good standard policy plan that will help Africa. I always want to speak on behalf of Africa, not only limiting my ideas in the context of in our Gambian context, because I know what I'm feeling here is the same thing that your brother probably in Ghana, in Nigeria is also feeling.
Yes.
So it is quite very, very, very sad. But I am hopeful that we will see a different Africa by 2063.
By 2063. Oh, that's a long time to count then. That is about 33 years from now. Huh?
Yeah,
but for me, I believe that the young people should take practical steps to change things on their own. And because, look, for voting, for us to vote people out and in, young people can create a significant change in that. For us to get the right leaders. But this is sometimes some of the things I get worried about is young people even taking a rise of bag, young people taking money, young people just because of their affiliation with a leader, they just take something small just to vote for them. How can some of these things change? Where young people will look at policies, They will look at how the benefit this person will bring to us. They will look at the ideology of the person. They will look at the character of the person and vote without taking these small things that really don't add anything to our lives. And we just have to suffer for another 4 or 5 years. How can we change this?
Yeah, this is why corruption is definitely prevalent in Africa. And then that's why sometimes Barack Obama will always say Africa doesn't need strong leaders. It needs what strong institutions. In that, he said that for a society to be responsible and powerful, it must first be what informed, and you should serve as an agent of that. You understand? Because it doesn't matter where you are, as Barack Obama will always say, whether you are a black or white. What matters is to have that confidence to move on with life. And in order to do that, we need to build what strong institutions that can help Africa to move on. And one of those institutions that I always emphasize is the National Assembly, the Parliament, that should serve as an independent oversight institution. What I also have as a recommendation is that we need to make sure that we build what is called an effective monitoring system. Now, this is going to be a system which is also different from the National Assembly. I wish all African countries can adopt this system. You understand? It is going to be a system that will monitor the works, the development, and the progress of every agencies and department in the government. Because sometimes our National Assembly members can be corrupted. Incumbent president will corrupt them. The reason why our draft constitution today was rejected was because of the, you know, those such practices that we see. Some of these National Assembly members were corrupted by the president because there are certain clause that was in favor of the president. So as a result, they had to vote against the new draft constitution, meaning they are now denying the wills and aspirations of the Gambian people who voted them into office, which is quite very, very sad. So we don't understand those operational principles that will help us to make transformational change, to reform our institutions. I would say right now, our government has failed because it is conceived as a transitional government. Do you understand?
Mm.
Jambi was voted out simply because we want to see a regime, we want to see a reform. And one of those reforms that they mentioned is to make sure that they revitalize the entire constitution. You understand? Secondly, they've launched what is called a commission of inquiries to inquire, to investigate about Jambe's administration, his financial dealings. That was done. The paperwork was already done, but nothing, we had nothing still from the executive. Everything was submitted. The TRRC also is in progress still now, it's not complete. So meaning the current president could not achieve nothing during his tenure in these 5 years. So that is very, very sad. And we are lacking those oversight institutions that should pressure the office of the president and serve as a watchdog in whatever thing they do.
Mm.
So we are lacking those institutions in Africa. We have the brains, but yet those brains are also corrupt. So this is why I always recommend an effective monitoring system that will detect and know the progress and development of every ministries and agencies in the countries. That's going to be independently operating. Oscar,
But
I think this is what.
don't you think the monitoring and system that is going to be put in place, don't you think those ones can also be corrupted?
No, Oscar, I'll be surprised. No, I don't think they'll be able to, because this is going to be a digitalized system. Yeah, because every ministry sends their report to the executive. Before a president make a speech, a televised show, this effective monitoring system committee will make sure that they investigate each and everything. Before those reports are available to the president, they should be available first to those committee and check and see whether this work has been done or not. If they haven't seen any significant change or progress, or is contrary to what the report said, therefore that particular minister should be sacked. This is why the new constitution states that the president cannot appoint a minister without going through the National Assembly for a proper scrutiny. This is something great. It entails the principles of democracy. It is about promoting democracy. But most of them are not happy with this too.
So do you think so do you think the young people are corrupt already? And if they are corrupt, do you think they can lead?
Yeah, I think young people still we have chance to change. I would not say they are corrupt. I would say our leaders are corrupt, but not young people. They still have they still have that ability to move on. But still now we are not building that. We are not promoting those civic institutions or social institutions that we should build in our communities. I think we should try to make sure that we embark more on those areas too, to strengthen our national institutions in Africa. And collaboration too, Oscar. I don't know whether you understand, you observe one thing. Collaborations among African youth is also kind of very, very lacking. Innovation, partnership for human development that can foster unique change among us as young people is also very, very lacking. You hardly see youth from Ghana visiting the University of the Gambia. Well, all what we see is to partner with Western universities. Probably I may not think of partnering with universities in Ghana, because I would say that I may not benefit anything from these people. So what I will think of if I become the president of the University of the Gambia is to make is how I will build a partnership with university in the United Kingdom or in other countries. But I believe in my own African youth, my own African institution. A young boy surprised the whole world called Usman Ture. He made a 3-minute video about Africa and the need for Africans to come together. He was given a scholarship to study in the United Kingdom and the UK. Contrary to expectation, Mr. Oscar, he turned down all those scholarships and chose Rwanda to study Rwanda's model of development. So that was quite really amazing. And Rwanda is making a transformational change in Africa, transformative change in Africa. And this is why it is inspiring so many young people. Imagine in 1994, Rwanda was in genocide. They were experiencing a brutal war. That set up hopes. We never thought Rwanda will go that far. But today Rwanda is competing at global level, not even Africa, but at global level. They have succeeded from agriculture to manufacturing, and now from manufacturing to industrialization. And the economy is booming. I think Rwanda should serve as an example for so many African countries. Paul Kagame is really doing well.
Yeah, he's really, really doing well. You see, when the conversation is good, then time is really, really running fast. And trust me, I'll be enjoying every bit of this conversation. And I think the young people on the continent of Africa has really, really they've got work to do. And I think we have also got work to do to change the mindset of the young people. Now, before we go, what do you think is the typical mindset of a young person on the continent of Africa? And what do you think how can that mindset be changed?
Yeah, the typical mindset is that we thought we are not fit in. We thought the society doesn't prepare anything for us. We have no hope on our leaders. And we are also not involving ourselves to take part in leadership role. That is also very, very affecting young people in Africa. And I don't think we should wait. The not too young to run idea is indeed a very, very good move. And I think if we could take up leadership role, it has to be, political offices, public to be public servants, not to sit at home. No. It's okay for you to pick up a new job when you graduate in the University of the Gambia as a bachelor degree holder. As Barack Obama will always say that education is not the name of our degree or certificate that we acquired to show others as a proof. It is the name of our behavior towards one another, our attitudes, and our actions. So if your education defines this, then you are fit in for any purpose in life. So I think this is the mindset that young people should have. That wherever you are, whosoever you are, you can make it in life. You have to trust yourself. You have to build your own confidence. This is why, Oscar, I always promise myself before promising people. I promise myself, yes, I will do this. And I move on with that. I never discourage myself. I never thought I would be speaking to a global platform like this. But today, I think this is a dream come true for me. And I think people like Oscar can definitely inspire so many young people in Africa. Because your program, your Youth Impact Zone, is purely and purposely designed for young people in Africa. And this is definitely changing the narratives in Africa. I know there are so many African leaders out there who might be following your programs. So this is quite very, very impressive. And then I will advise you to continue with the good work. But also can't wait to come to Gambia here and then start an initiative with you, Mr. Oscar. And I know you will definitely do that, because I've been following your program across Africa, in Ghana, in Nigeria, and I've been seeing the significant change that you've made so far. So congratulations for that.
Thank you very much, and congratulations too for really educating us. And trust me, I really enjoyed this conversation. And I know that definitely you'll be coming back when you become the president of the University of Gambia.
Thank you.
Good, 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 good. Time is already fast spent, and trust me, we before we go and continue the discussion, I just want to mention some few sponsors. This program is sponsored by Train to Inspire Consultancy. That is T2I TV UK is powered by Train to Inspire Consultancy. That is your business training and consulting firm. It's for all your business training in the areas of leadership and management, customer service, sales and marketing, finance and accounting, change management, you name it. We work with different consultants across the globe to deliver bespoke training programs to your business. We also work with students in tertiary institutions in terms of their personal development. We believe that the school prepares students for them to pass their exams to get the first class and second appers, but they don't prepare them for the real world. Our institution, Train to Inspire Consultancy, is designed to bridge the gap between academia and also the world. That is, what do you need to succeed in the real world? Your certificate of getting first class is just a small portion, a small percentage of your success in the world. What really will cause you to really succeed is what you have in your sleeve in terms of your personal development. And that is what Train to Inspire Consultancy does in terms of bridging that gap between academia and you entering into the real world to succeed. Now, also ALS Global Shipping and Logistics. That is your trusted import and export company based in Accra. ALS says if you are stranded at the port, call them and they will sort you out. Also, ZPay Ghana Limited, your remittance and mobile money company based in Ghana. They just launched their ZPay mobile money USSD code, which is star 270 hash. Just dial on your phone to register for ZPay mobile money. You don't need an agent to really register for ZPay mobile money. Then Rules for Sure, your car leasing company for every credit based in the UK. Rules for Sure says it doesn't matter your credit history. You can drive out of the garage with a car of your choice. Meaning that it doesn't matter your credit history in terms of this pandemic where people are avoiding crowded places in terms of public transport. Call Rules for Sure and they will sort you out. They've got a powerful package for everyone, a very good package, especially all the key workers in the United Kingdom, that is the health workers. Call them and they will sort you out. Rules for Sure, if you call them, quote T2Y 2020, so that they will know that you got it from T2Y TV UK and you are going to get the best of deals. Now, if you want to contact any of our sponsors, the numbers are scrolling on the screen. Take them and contact them. When you contact them and you tell them that you got it from T2Y TV UK, you are more likely to get a good deal. Now, also, if you want to sponsor any of our shows, or you want to advertise, or you want to support what we are doing, you can take the T2I TV UK or Train to Inspire Consultancy number and contact us. We will be more than happy to work with you. I always say that a lot of small and medium enterprises cannot go to main media to advertise. Come to us and we are going to help you to support. Once again, Mr. Kemo Fati, we will be speaking to Mr. Kemo Fati, who is a political science student at the University of Gambia and leader of the UTG Solutionists. It's been wonderful having you, sir.
Thank you so much, Mr. Oscar. It's a pleasure to have this interview with you. I am deeply honored.
I'm also honored to really spend your precious time with us to educate us. But before you go, what is your last word to every young person on the continent of Africa? What are you going to tell them?
Thank you so much for that opportunity. I think I will first of all love to congratulate every young people down there, particularly those who are doing extremely well with that high level of resilience that they believe in them. Indeed, a very good confidence that I have been seeing in the young people of Africa. And I know for sure that I have no iota of doubt in my mind that beyond all ramifications, inshallah, the young people of this country we translate their national commitments into actionable programs. Well, what can we do? How can we do that? Is when we are ready to make significant change in our societies. Let's help our leaders, but also let us not relent in participating, in youth work, in participating, in taking part in decision-making processes, and of course, in taking part at the at political atmospheres. This is about us. It is a life that we want to see. Already we are hopeless that our leaders will be able to change our continent. But we now have a role to play, and now it is we cannot blame our leaders anymore. We really can't blame them because we've identified those problems. We know our human capacities. We know those who are very, very smart and can draw good policy plan for young people. We know how we can achieve our long-term goals. We have beautiful ideas. Now what are we waiting for? Let's unite as one people. Let's unite as one Africa to prepare ahead of the Agenda 2063. I want to see a united Africa, and that can be built by the young people of this continent. We have those zeals in us. So let's come together. Let's cooperate through innovation, and partnership to move Africa. Let's foster a change that will stay, that will help the generation yet unborn. We have a role to play. Let's stop blaming our leaders. You can make change down there if you are sitting in entrepreneurship and other stuffs. Let us not neglect our agricultural sectors. Let's collaborate with farmers. Let's encourage urban farming. Our leaders need to listen. They need to listen to young people. They need to formulate policies that will provide opportunities for young people to also, benefit from their intellectual properties. And we really can do this. If they are not ready to do, let's move the agenda forward. Let's unite as young people. I don't want to see, um, any military mutiny again happening in any of the African countries. No, let's do away from that. We can remove our leaders from power without war, without coups. So the Africa I want to see is the Africa whose young people will not risk their life in the Mediterranean Sea. The Africa I want to see is the Africa where our youth in Nigeria will go to South Africa and have a decent job without any discrimination. The Africa I want to see is the Africa where a child will not walk for more than 11 kilometers to attend a school in Masidal in South Africa. The Africa I want to see is Africa that will empower young people. The Africa I want to see is the Africa that will provide opportunity for women. The Africa I want to see is the Africa that will take care of women and children and young people. The Africa I want to see is the Africa whose leaders will listen to young people, whose leaders will prioritize our agricultural sectors, whose leaders will tap our resources and benefit us. The Africa I want to see is the Africa that is out of corruption, an Africa that will unite her citizenry, an Africa that will promote agricultural sectors, that will attract investors from all across the world. An Africa whose leaders will sit on a round table and draw a policy plan and achieve it within 5 years, not to give a mere promises. An Africa whose leaders will respect the term limit. This is the Africa I want to see as an emerging leader. I don't want to see Africa at war. I want to see African people, reunite their differences and reconcile their differences and choose Africa.
Wow.
I am hopeful that we will definitely transcend adversity, and we can definitely achieve that if we want to move on. Thank you so much, Mr. Oscar, and I am glad to be your host today.
Thank you very much. And actually, I really enjoyed have somebody open up something like that. There is a feedback, yeah. So thank you very much for having me as well, and I really enjoy every bit of the conversation. And I'm also glad that you really took your busy time to be with us. So thank you very much once again.
Thank you so much, Mr. Oscar.
All right. So it's been wonderful. If you are watching us for the first time, we encourage you to share this. Send a link to somebody to listen to this powerful interview. Also, go to our page, T2ITV UK, on Facebook, on YouTube. We are also on Twitter and Instagram, and just like our page. And also share our page to somebody for them to like it. Why? Because this is a global platform for the continent. This is not a continent for only Gambians or Ghanaians or Nigerians. This is for Africa and those in diaspora. So be part of this change. And for you to be part of this change, just let this platform available to somebody. So thank you very much once again. If you are just watching us, God richly bless you. We are here on Thursday, and I will be speaking to another lady from all the way from Nigeria. and she is coming to talk about how we can leverage opportunities to raise finance for ourselves. It's going to be an amazing discussion. You can't afford to miss it.
Amazing.
So Thursday we are here 7 p.m. and on Saturday too we are here. I have another lady all the way from Sierra Leone who is living in the States to also come on the show, and she is going to talk about her inspiring journey, the challenges she's been through life, and where she is now. It's going to be an amazing discussion. Always be with us on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and on Saturdays. You can't afford to miss it. We are always here to inspire you, to encourage you, to let you believe again, to cause you to understand that it can be done. If some young people can do it, why not you? Get out and go out there and pursue your vision, because it's possible. It's possible because some other people have been able to achieve it. And if they be able to do it, you can also do it. Go out there, believe in yourself, forget about the challenges on the continent, be focused on what you want to achieve, and consistently you move the tide to your favor and you will succeed at the long run. God bless each and everyone. We will come again coming Thursday, so don't change the dial. T2I TV UK is always here with us. And once again, thank you, Mr. Kemo, for your time.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Oscar.
Thank you. So see you guys. God bless you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I believe that you are able to do exceedingly abundantly, far above all I could ask or think. Believe, yes, I believe. You say, I believe that you are able to do exceedingly abundantly, far above all I could ask or think.
I am so excited because the Step Out TV shows are back live on T2I TV. And for those who don't know, Step Out is a series of interviews and motivational segments designed to bring the best out of you and your business. Therefore, we have the following TV programs. Our first TV program, which is our flagship program, dubbed Step Out with Oscar Bimpong, is designed to interview consultants, experts, talented people, and those doing exceptionally well in their communities. The second one is Step Out SME Focus. This is where we interview business owners and showcase their products and services. The third one is Step Out Youth Impact Zone. This is where we interview young people succeeding against all odds to serve as an inspiration to other young people. And the last one is Step Out Authors Corner. And this is where we interview authors to share what their book is about to the world. Join us every week at 7 p.m. GMT. Like T2I TV on Facebook and subscribe to the YouTube channel. To advertise or for further information, do WhatsApp +44 759 1152 983 or +233 55 580 3924 or email info@traintoinspire.com. T2I TV. We engage, educate, enlighten, and empower.